What's good, YouTube? Welcome back to the channel. Welcome back to another reaction video. We got 10 hardest hitting linebackers in NFL history. Let's check this out.
Linebacker is a special position, reserved for the leaders of the defense, the heart and soul. But maybe
Ray
even
Lewis.
more importantly, the absolute psychos who never turn down contact. So
That hit will
Cowboy
forever
colors,
be
because
like
these are
probably
the 10
the
hardest
worst
hitting
hit I've
linebackers
ever
in
seen,
NFL
bro.
history. Starting with Patrick Willis,
Patrick
a guy
Willis.
who could have been higher on this list had he played longer. But despite having an injury,
I mean, he should still definitely be in the top 5, though. I'm not even gonna hold you, gang.
Wrecked guys. In 2007, as a rookie,
And if number one is not Ray Lewis, this list is wrong.
Tackles. Then in 2009, he did it again. But he wasn't satisfied with just making tackles.
I'll be one of the best linebackers to ever play this game.
He wanted to blow players up. Willis said,
My mentality when I'm going against anyone is be the hammer, not the nail.
and when he nailed an opponent, the entire stadium could feel it. In a 2009 game against the Jets, Willis was blocked to the ground late in the second half.
I cringe every time I see this hit, bro.
Across the middle, he was ready to get revenge. Just as Smith was being tackled from behind, Willis delivered a ferocious hit.
That shit could have paralyzed them, gang.
The blow folded Smith's upper body backward like a lawn chair, knocking him out of the game. Willis told ESPN, "You get angry, you get mad, you just go and just put it all on someone else." And sometimes that means
Put it
hitting a
all
guy
on
so
someone
hard
else
his
sounds
mouthpiece
crazy.
comes out, which is what Willis did to Giants fullback Henry Hynoski in the 2011 NFC title game. Willis's special ability as a tackler helped him become a 5-time All-Pro and Hall of Famer in just 8 seasons. And his destructive power was fine-tuned by the coaching of another tackling machine, Mike Singletary, who was all about toughness, desire, and leadership. As a player, Singletary patrolled the middle of the field with wild-eyed passion. The broadcast loved zooming in on his maniacal expressions. And when you see that looking at you from across the line of scrimmage,
his
the greats can
face,
get
yo.
intimidated. Like Hall of Fame running back Eric Dickerson, who thought, this guy's going to kill somebody. But Singletary actually played under control. You can't be the centerpiece on one of the best defenses of all time, the '85 Bears, and not have discipline and smarts. He said his eyes got big because he was trying to...
Oh, nah, this image is crazy, bro. I'm not even gonna hold you. Yo.
Knowing what was coming allowed him to hit people hard. So hard that every time Singletary would make a tackle, he would scream or make a wild noise, which earned him the nickname Samurai Mike. And the Samurai was on full display during the '85 NFC title game. In the second quarter, the Rams had a 3rd and 1 at midfield. Singletary got through the line and stood up Dickerson in the backfield for no gain. After that play, the Rams were done, and the Bears were on to the Super Bowl. But the Bears knew what they had in Singletary from the very beginning, because in Week 10 of his rookie season, when the Bears played the Chiefs, Singletary was assigned to stop one of the top running backs in the NFL, Joe Delaney. And he didn't just stop Delaney, he destroyed him. Singletary met him in the hole, took him off his feet, and slammed him to the turf. Teammate Dan Hampton said,
"It sounded like a gunshot because Mike squared him up and knocked the living hell out of him."
And just like that, Chicago had their middle linebacker for the next decade. Singletary is a legend of the NFC North, which during his time was known as the NFC Central, or the Black and Blue Division, for its fierce rivalries and bruising matchups. So it's only right we now mention one of the division's founding fathers, Ray Nitschke, who, like most middle linebackers of the 1960s, was a bruiser with a nasty disposition. His nickname was simply Wild Man, for obvious reasons. And no one from the Bears, Vikings, or Lions was safe when they faced Nitschke and the Packers. He tried to break his opponent's will, one hit at a time.
Ooh.
You want them to be a little shy,
like, bro,
a little shyer the next time. You want them to remember.
I don't think we'll ever really see extremely hard hits in the NFL anymore because of how soft the NFL has gotten, bro. Because you can't even hit a nigga really hard nowadays, or you'll get flagged for that shit, bro. Like, that's one. I know they're trying to, you know what I'm saying, look out for the player safety and shit like that, but it's football at the end of the day. Football is a dangerous sport, and they know that shit. Like, bro, they're legit trying to turn this shit into flag football.
The Packers built a legendary defense in the 60s, with Nitschke as the unquestioned leader.
I think there's a documentary on the end of NFL hard hits that I might check out as well.
Dixon cartwheeling through the air with a tackle. Nitschke only knew one way to play, and that was all out. That meant he was a terror on the practice field too.
Didn't matter if you were in shorts and t-shirts, you always buckled your hat when you went close to Raymond, because he was going to hit you.
His teammate Jerry Kramer said. Nitschke would have enjoyed watching a relentless punisher like Junior Seau smash opponents to pieces.
Junior Seau,
That's
I remember
exactly
him.
what Seau did for 20 years in the NFL. He was fearless against blockers and ball carriers at the point of attack. He didn't just wreak havoc on a blitz.
Damn,
Short
bro
yardage
knocked his
either.
helmet
He weren't
off.
safe from Seau 50 yards downfield. In 1991, the Chargers were playing the Seahawks. Seattle's Tommy Kane caught a long pass and then tried to run for more yards when a hustling Seau caught up to him. And he went limp once I hit him, Seau said. Of course, Seau's body paid a heavy price for the way he played.
When you put on a good hit, it just, I mean, it hurts you too.
A few years before he left the game, he knew his post-playing days would be rough. When we're 50, 40 years old, we probably won't be able to walk, he said. And despite that, he always played with fearlessness and passion, which made him one of the most well-respected players to ever lace him up. But Bill Romanowski didn't receive much respect from his colleagues around the league because while he was a master disruptor, Romanowski often used the dark arts to do so.
I was upset at Romanowski, not because he was
Shannon
white and
Sharp.
a black guy's face, because he disrespected another man.
Like breaking Kerry Collins' jaw, spitting in J.J. Stokes' face.
Ew!
Like breaking Kerry Collins'
Now, breaking somebody's jaw is absolutely diabolical,
jaw,
but
spitting
this is disgusting, bro. Nah, me personally, bro, I'm putting him on his ass after that, bro. I don't care. If lose, win, or draw, bro, I'm laying this nigga out, bro. I don't
J.J.
give a
Stokes'
fuck.
face and more cheap shots than we can even count. But that doesn't mean
I'm not
he
letting
wasn't
a grown-
force
another
when he was
grown-ass
between the
man
lines.
spit in
Just
my
like
face,
in the
bro.
1998
That
AFC
shit is nah.
Championship game when he rocked
That's
Jets
dead.
running back Curtis Martin in the open field, or in a 1996 game when he put the Vikings Leroy
Nah, this
Hoard
nigga
to
just
sleep.
did not give a
And
fuck.
He had no mercy on quarterbacks either, like when he decked Chris Chandler to stop a Falcons drive in Super Bowl 33. A lot of times, what really matters is how hard you hit him, Romanowski said. He claims that his career reached a turning point when 49ers teammate Ronnie Lott called him out for being soft. Romanowski took Lott's words to heart, and from that point on, he played with an edge. He was going to hit everyone, legally or not. And while Romanowski went way over to the dark
Dirty-ass
side,
player.
James Harrison definitely towed the
this
line
nigga,
of being
bro.
a villain as well.
Yeah,
Harrison had
I
a
remember him.
and he channeled a lot.
Bro, look at this
of rage.
nigga face, bro. You already know this nigga done seen some things. This nigga got a demon inside of him. Bro is jacked. Yeah.
Starting with his rough childhood, then being undrafted, handled a lot of rage. Starting with his
Why is he looking like that, bro? Nah, bro. Oh my gosh. Now that's
then being
funny ass
undrafted
picture,
out
not
of
gonna
college,
lie.
Then
Oh
getting
my
cut
gosh.
4 times. Then not starting until he was 29. Yeah,
Damn.
a lot of people had to pay, including Ed Reed. Back in 2007, Harrison
what
was
about my
playing
nigga
on
Ed
defense
Reed?
and special teams in a Monday night game against the Ravens when he jacked up Reed on a punt return, forcing a fumble. It was part of a huge night for Harrison where he had 3.5 sacks, 3 forced fumbles, and 10 total tackles.
Man, what a beautiful game.
After that, he was officially a star. But even once he became a household name, he still played with the same rage and passion that got him there. My objective in tackling someone was to put them out of that game, he said. I didn't want to injure them, but I wanted them to hurt and not be able to finish that game. And that's exactly what he did in a 2010 game
That is
against
crazy.
the rival Browns. First, he lined up a defenseless Josh Cribbs, his
Ooh.
college teammate at Kent State, and put the crown of his helmet right into the side
Come
of his
on
head.
now.
Then he launched himself at Mohamed Massaquoi.
Damn.
At the time, the league was trying to make
Nah,
the game
bro.
safer.
This hit looks
Mohamed
crazy.
Massaquoi and connected. At the time,
Oh my gosh, bro. Look at this nigga body,
he was
yo.
trying to make the game safer, so they decided to punish Harrison for the hit on Massaquoi. And since he was deemed a repeat offender, they fined him $75,000. Harrison said,
Wait, $75,000?
$75,000? I would have tried to kill him. But he's
Whoa. Okay, nah, bro. Yeah, lock this nigga up.
learn his
Lock this
Or
nigga
maybe
up,
he just
bro.
loved tormenting the Browns, because in 2011 he cleaned Cleveland QB Colt McCoy's clock too.
Damn.
But we can't talk about Steeler enforcers without mentioning Jack Lambert.
Jack
who could
Lambert. I
scare
think I remember
opponents
him too.
just
Yeah,
by
I remember
looking
this
at him.
nigga.
John
Yeah, I
Elway
remember
had
that
faced
face.
Lambert's Steelers in the first game of his career and said,
Jack Lambert, he's got no teeth. He's slobbering.
Ugh.
And I was like, you know, if Andy M was there and I could click my heels and get me out of here, I'd have got out of there.
but Lambert had the game to go along with his looks, and his play style earned him the
Yeah,
name
bro. You got a
Dracula.
nigga that look like
Lambert
that,
once
bro.
said,
No
I believe the
teeth.
game is designed to
Yeah, you
reward
gotta
the
look the
ones who
fuck
hit
out. That
the
nigga ain't
hardest.
got nothing
As a
to
rookie
lose.
in 1974, he started at middle linebacker for the Steel Curtain defense, and in his very first game, he crushed the Colts with a goal line stand, and then by flattening receiver Glenn
Ooh.
Doughty. That game launched an 11-year reign of terror. But the hit that people outside Pittsburgh remember him for wasn't even during a live play. It was Lambert slinging the Cowboys' Cliff Harris to the turf in Super Bowl X. After Harris taunted the Steelers kicker for missing a field goal. He truly embodied what it meant to be a Steeler in the 70s and 80s and led the team to 4 Super Bowl victories in 6 seasons. But every legendary defense has a player who's the unit's heart and soul. The Steel Curtain had Lambert, and the Big Blue Wrecking Crew had Lawrence Taylor.
Yes, sir. He better have been in the top 3 game.
Speed, power, and insane mentality made him unblockable.
One of the best defensive players of all time. Probably the best defensive player of all time, I would say.
Once he was locked on his target, he almost always brought the pain. And normally, his target was the other team's quarterback. Like former Eagles QB Ron Jaworski, who said he dominated the league for 10 years. Best defensive player I've ever seen. LT had 12.5 sacks against Jaws alone, and he held nothing back on those hits. Unfortunately, one quarterback who felt Taylor's wrath was never able to play another down again.
And I remember because I remember doing a video about LT. This nigga LT has never seen the footage at all. Like after I forgot who this quarterback name was. But like bro, they're still good friends to this day. But he said he's never seen the footage of him getting that sack and everything like that.
In 1985, he flew off the edge, wrapping up Washington's quarterback Joe Theismann.
Joe Theismann,
snapped Theismann's leg right in 2.
That shit is crazy.
Right off my right ear, I heard this pow pow.
An injury so brutal that LT himself refuses to ever watch the replay. Taylor was such a menace off the edge that he changed what it meant to be an outside linebacker. Prior to LT, a blitzing linebacker wasn't a worry. It was dealt with by simply keeping a running back in to help pick up the extra pressure. But after years of Taylor blowing up plays and quarterbacks alike, not only were teams assigning an offensive lineman to block him, he made the quarterback's blindside tackle position one of the most important in football. The contact was always the most important thing to me, LT said, and he certainly played like it, leading the Giants to 2 Super Bowl victories as well as 8 All-Pro nods and an MVP for himself. And there aren't many defensive players even on the level of Lawrence Taylor. But if anyone is,
Ray Lewis. Who's number 1 then if it's not Ray Lewis, my nigga? Hardest hitting linebacker of all time, bro. I don't give a fuck.
Rashard Mendenhall found that out the hard way in 2008. At the time, Mendenhall was a rookie running back for the Steelers. He wanted to run over Lewis to prove himself. He caught his chance and left the field broken.
Yeah.
It cost me my shoulder.
About to know better, bro. About to come correct.
Collision, the force was incredible. After the play, I wasn't screaming, he's hurt. I was screaming, he's done. Mendenhall broke his scapula and missed the rest of the season.
That's cold, I ain't gonna lie.
Hit in the open field at full speed, everything went flying. Bodies, the ball, helmets, you name it. Like when Lewis took Titans fullback Ahmad Hall in the 2009 playoffs. Or when he made the Jets' Dustin Keller go sideways in a 2010 game. Legendary quarterback Michael Vick said,
"Only been afraid to play against one player in all my years of football. And that one player was Ray Lewis."
Lewis is still the NFL's all-time solo tackler with 1,568 and combined tackler with 2,059 tackles. So he left a mark on many players over the year. And I'm sure Vic isn't the only one who feels that way. But only one player struck fear in the hearts of his opponents more than Lewis.
Here's the man that you fear most in football staring you right in the face.
And that was Chicago Bears.
Oh, Dick Butkus. Okay, that's understandable. Okay,
because of the way he mauled opponents.
Dick was an animal. I called him a maniac.
That shit sounds crazy. Dick was an animal.
Former Packers running back Arthur Lane once said, "I'd sooner go one-on-one with a grizzly bear than with Butkus. I prayed that I could get up every time Butkus hit me." For 9 seasons, he was the ultimate intimidator. He played in a much rougher era, and he was the roughest of them all. Packers legend Paul Hornung said,
"He was the meanest son I've ever seen in my life play professional football."
Damn, nigga tried to take his fucking head off.
He was strong enough to grab a ball carrier, lift him
twisting
off the
his neck
ground while
and
his
shit.
legs were still churning.
Oh!
Or to put a shoulder into a runner and stop him dead in his tracks. At the height of his career, he said, "I just want to let them know that they've been hit, and when they get up, they don't have to look to see who it was that hit them." In 1971, he delivered one of his most violent shots, a shoulder into the chest of Lions tight end Charlie Sanders. Sanders said, "The hit was so hard that I actually didn't feel it. I think he hit me so hard it actually numbed me." That's why Hall of Fame player Deacon Jones said of Butkus,
"And every time he hit you, he tried to put you in the cemetery, not the hospital."
And hey, if you enjoyed this video, Stick with
That is
Blitz.
crazy.
Subscribe and check out the video we have for you right here.
Hey man, I want to know what you guys think. Who do y'all actually think is the hardest hitting linebacker in the NFL history? For me, you know what I'm saying, I know it's a little bit biasy, Ray Lewis, but you know, I want to know what you guys think down in the comments below. Y'all let me know, and let me know what other NFL videos y'all want me to react to. Without further ado, I'm out. Gang.